TRON Ares is the third installment in the TRON franchise, directed by Joachim Roning. Be sure to check out my bucket list double feature on the first two TRON films, but long story short, I thought the first TRON was fine. It had kind of a muddled story, but it was revolutionary for the time and I respect what it did. TRON Legacy was better than it had any right to be. It felt modern but classic, had a more streamlined story, likable characters, and a kicking soundtrack. Going into TRON Ares, I honestly wasn't sure what to expect. The trailers looked cool, but at the time I didn't really have any context or expectations for the movie to live up to. So after watching the movie, what did I think? I liked it. I had a solid time with it. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but I didn't really think the other two Trons were anything groundbreaking, so take that as you will. I know a lot of people didn't really like the fact that they were bringing the world of Tron into the real world, but considering one of my biggest issues with the first two was the lack of any real world stakes or consequences, I actually thought it was kind of cool that they were switching it up with this one. This does mean we don't spend that much time in the grid, which might annoy some people, but the time we do spend in there is still really cool looking. The story centers around an AI named Ares, played by Jared Leto, who was created by the grandson of Ed Dillinger, played by Evan Peters, who has also developed the technology to bring items and programs from the grid into the real world, but only for a certain amount of time. The person that holds the key to fixing this issue is Eva, played by Greta Lee, who took over as CEO of Encom after Garrett Hedlund didn't want to reprise his role as Sam. At first, Ares' job is to get the code from Eva to help Dillinger, but he starts to grow a conscience and now has to work with Eva, a la Terminator 2, to recover the code and shut down Dillinger. So, if you're a fan of Tron Legacy and you're upset by this movie, I can understand why. It doesn't really feel like a direct sequel to Legacy and kind of just introduces a host of new characters and problems. Not to mention, the story can get very convoluted and expository in parts. So if anyone doesn't like this movie or is disappointed, I get it. But not only am I used to the Tron universe being a bit convoluted and expository, but I also didn't mind that we were dropped in the middle of a new story with hints of old characters possibly returning. Even though Legacy feels more like a natural continuation, it also kind of stands enough on its own, and that's what I feel like this needed to do. The characters aren't the deepest in the world, and a lot of their motivations are explained rather than shown, but I liked what they did with them, and the performances were solid for the most part. But let's be honest, if you're seeing a Tron movie in theaters in 2025, you're doing so for two reasons: the visuals and the sound. And both of those deliver extremely well. The visual effects look spectacular, the action scenes are high octane and slickly shot, and complemented so well by the soundtrack. Nine Inch Nails takes over for Daft Punk, and honestly, it's pretty flawless. It captures the techno synth feel from Legacy with a bit of an intense, grungy edge, and it goes insanely hard. The movie is edited really well too, with a lot of the action scenes being timed to the music, and on a Dolby screen, it's a spectacle to behold. If you missed out on seeing Legacy on the big screen and you just care about eye candy, this will satisfy you. Overall, I had a good time with Tron Ares. I understand why some people aren't enjoying it, and I don't think it's a perfect movie, but it's a visually stunning, slickly shot ride with a rockin' soundtrack and a decent enough story and characters. I think all things considered, you could do a lot worse, so give it a watch if you're interested. I'm sat between a 3.5 and a 4, but I'll leave it as a 4 for the spectacle.